Please subscribe to my YouTube channel if you like this video and you think it was useful to you. Thank you very much.
Hello, good day. I hope you're having a good day today and your garden's beautiful and thriving. So, my name's Del, by the way. Now, this is the little beast we're going to divide, take the pups out and put a couple in pots. What have we got there? 1, 2, 3, maybe 4 pups there. I'll show you how to put them in pots, put them in hanging baskets or hanging pots and put them on a raft or on a tree. I don't put these in the ground normally. You can do, there's no problem at all, but you really need very open, light soil, you know, loads of compost, because these really are sort of understory plants, so they're not, they will grow in direct sunlight, but they do brown off at the tips a bit. Well, there we are, that's our project for today. I had to remove my hat for the rest of this video, my lovely new hat. It's just too hot. So, and I've got a bit of shine on my head. Should get some of that makeup, shouldn't I? Anyway, here we go then. No messing about. They're in a plastic pot, which is within a clay pot, which is open-sided, which I shall use again. And we just pull it out. There we are. So, now the old compost here I use, it's got too much actual compost in it, too much soil if you like. I use my own homemade compost, but I've put too much in that and it's all a little bit damp. So, no more to do. There's one. There we are. That one's not far off of blooming, I don't think. Another one. So you've got a little bit of root there, a little bit of stem, some root. See, you can see that there, that's good. That's a good one. That's about to go. And we've got one baby. Well, that one's okay, it's a bit small, but it'll go. So there we are, we've got 4. And we've got the parent plant, which has flowered, and Granny, which has flowered. So I'm not going to get rid of them. They're going back in the pot. I'm not being fussy with it, and I'm going to shove that under the mango tree. Nice clean bucket. Now then, this is the soil or the compost I'm using. It's very roughly half shredded coconut and half garden compost. So we do 1, 2, 3, 4 of those. And here I have here I have bark off of one of our trees. We've got a nice big tree in the garden which, you know, rather kindly sheds its bark on a regular basis. It's not composted, by the way. So a couple of handfuls of that in, maybe 3. There we are. And last but not least, well, not last actually, some charcoal. Now this is barbecued charcoal. If you use barbecued charcoal, you'll have to be very careful that you don't have any chemicals in it, i.e. lighter fuel or, you know, quick start stuff or any chemicals, anything like that at all. You don't need too much. What the charcoal does, it keeps the soil open, definitely, and it keeps the soil sweet. Well, it's not soil actually, it's compost, shall we say. Give that a bit of a mix up. I'm happy with that, that's good. Now, I'll come a little bit closer so you can see that. There we are. Hope that's in focus. There you go. Roughly mixed like that. This is a 15cm pot, or 6 inches for you across the pond. Well, not across the pond actually, because I'm in Thailand, so the other side of the world. couple of brown leaves there, just whip them off. There, a little bit of root there. We should keep a little bit of root there, and we should plop that in there like that. And get it in the centre of the pot. Now then, this is where the broken crops really come in useful, because what you do, you just shove those around the top of the pot like so, and they support the plant until it roots. Really, that's it. That's all there is to it. There. So there we are. So yes, quite happy with that. And of course, with all Neoregelias, you must keep the cup or the vase full of water, preferably rainwater, but I use tap water, and the tap water here is pretty grim. You wouldn't drink it. Well, I wouldn't anyway. Now that's, as you can see, that pot looks ugly, so I'll wash this old pot out in a minute. But you plonk that in there like that, and that can sit down on the wall somewhere in the semi-shade. So that's that one. Well, here's our hanging wires. 3 wires, you can see. What's that? 2 foot, 60 centimetres long, something like that. You can cut these off to whatever you want, that's no problem, you know. But to start off with, I like to have them on the full belt, on the full length. Then see how the plant grows. If the plant, depending on how the plant grows, the shape of it and everything else, and the size of it, I will shorten these. And I hang them when they go out, because you want to be looking down on the plant as much as possible. So you want them to be about this high so that you can look down on the plants, which often means you might have to have another loop of wire here going up to a pergola, or as I've got here, I've just got a nail in this in the edge of this pergola here, or the edge of the shade house. Right, so we've got to get these ends equal. They must be equal. There's nothing worse than a pot that's squiffy. Now, should we go in or out? We'll go out with this one. So we want to make that into a, so the 3 are pretty good, see? They're pretty level. I'm happy with that. So we plonk that up there, right level, isn't it? Pretty good. Put them over like that. Put them over like that. There we are. Perfect, as David Jason says. Absolutely perfect. We'll be using the same compost as we did with the previous potting up. I just had a little bit more in the way of bark chippings. This is a little bit too much soil at the bottom of this. And there we go, that's it. Bob's your old carbuncle. There we go. There we are. How about that for judging it? There. Now, I'm going to put one of the smaller pups in this one. Put it in the centre. That's all you need to do. Now then, if it's floppy in there, just get a couple of the leaves and with a fine piece of cotton or something like that, a piece of wool will do, just tie it very loosely to a couple of the wires until it roots. That's it. Again, keep the cup or the vase full of water. It must be full of water, otherwise they will very quickly die off. As you can see, this is quite a nice raft. Well, it's not really a raft, it's a hanging thingamy branch. It's hardwood, I don't know what. Looks like mahogany. It's got this red on top, it's reddish, whereas I've soaked it in water for half an hour or so. So I guess that's mahogany. Now these cost over here in Thailand 10 baht each, which is 20p, which is what, roughly 30 US cents, I think, something like that. So need that, a piece of coconut husk, knife, myrrh, and some nails, 1 and 2 inch, which is 2.5 centimeters and 5 centimeters, I think. Now this piece of wood has got a slight hollow here, just here, and as you can see, if I show it to you properly, the stem of the plant is slightly curved. So if we put that there, like that, that will be perfect, if there's such a thing as perfect. So, here's my piece of coconut. This is a piece I cut earlier. Plonk it there like that. You see that? Now, I'm only going to use the small pins. Doesn't matter if they bend over. They all rust in after 2 or 3 months, 4 months, whatever. Roots appear all over here, and the coconut rots and drops off, or you can put it off, whatever. A little bit loose. If it is a little bit loose, put a pin nearer to the stem, and that'll act like a clamp. To be honest, the more woody ones I've gone through the stem, and there's never been a problem. So here we are. As I said before, Neoregelias are sort of understory plants, really. They don't like deep shade. You can keep them in deep shade, but you don't get the colours and they become leggy. And the best is half and half. Dappled shade, or a bit of sunlight and a bit of shade, you know, as long as you don't get direct sunlight around noontime during the midday, you'll probably be okay, because they will burn, the leaves will burn. They do here anyway, because I mean the day temperatures here very, very rarely drop below 30, and they're often up in the 35s, so we have to be careful. Again, don't let the cups dry out, and keep them moist, but you mustn't overwater them because they do tend to rot. That's hence the open compost I use. If you haven't got the compost that I use, you can use any old thing as long as it's open. I mean, you'll be able to buy bromeliad compost in the States. I mean, I wouldn't tell Granny how to suck eggs to you American guys, that's for sure. But this is a bit different here. Now, fertiliser, to fertilise or not to fertilise. Now, there's the debate about this, not so much on the internet, but in books I read. So I read an awful lot of books, horticultural books, etc. And the RHS book, encyclopedia, says you shouldn't really feed bromeliads. And I never had them. I'm not sure about it actually. What I've done, I've never fed them up until now. I started feeding them about 6 months, 9 months ago I suppose, with a slow release fertiliser, 3 months jobby, you know, this sort of thing. 13 NPK. Probably a little bit strong actually, but I feed the cacti and my succulents at, and I've got a few bromeliads out in the succulent garden, or the succulent platform, whatever. And I said, oh, I'll feed those as well, and they've thrived, but they are out in the sun. They get a lot of sun, and they get a lot of wind, and they get a lot of they're not in the sun continually, but you know, they get a lot of wind, and of course in rainy season there's loads of water, and they're thriving, and the colours are really coming out. But if you overfeed them, they become leggy and they look stupid, because bromeliads should not be leggy, and they will become leggy if they're kept in too deep a shade, by the same token. So it's a balance. Move them around, try it, check it, you know, pick something up, move it around, say, oh righto. And you know, by the same token, on my bromeliad tree I have Neoregelias. I've acclimatised them and they work fine, but there again they're sort of partly sheltered by other broms, so you know, you have to sort of play with it. Anyway, that's it really. Hope it makes sense. I'm not sure it will do, mind. Anyway, that's all for now. So happy gardening, enjoy your garden, get out there and do some work, good exercise, makes you a strong person, and it's good for the head, good for the mind. Okay, so it's goodbye from Del, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.
Well, that's about it for this video, folks. If you enjoyed it, perhaps you'd be good enough to like, share or subscribe, or all or any of those combinations. That would be very good. Thank you very much. And if you want to watch more of my videos, please go to my YouTube channel. There are various videos on plants, etc., and a few odds and sods which may interest you. Thanks for watching. Enjoy yourself and have a great